In this video, I will show you how to make this brioche coaster. You can make it, you can use this as dishcloth or anything, but I like using it as a coaster. And the sample which I'm going to do is not the entire pattern. I will just show you how to do the cast on and then a bit more on how to increase it, and that's about it. But it's fairly easy. You can just follow the follow the pattern and then you should be able to do it. Okay, so for my like knitting in the circle, I usually start with a pinhole cast on. So this is with a magic like a crochet circle, so magic circle. But you can also just cast on the number of stitches and then join in the round. Suppose like instead of like a magic crochet, like for this tutorial I cast on 6 stitches, so you can just cast on like 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. Okay, so we can do a cast on like this and then join in the round. So this is one way of doing it. Okay, so we can just join in the round like this, and I usually twist this 2 stitches, okay, or exchange it from one needle to another. Like this. Okay, it is much easier when you're not filming, and then you can just start knitting. Okay, so this is one. So I will show you how to start knitting like this. So you just start with knit 1, then bring the yarn in the front, slip the next stitch, and then knit 1. So you have to just follow the pattern. Okay, so again bring the yarn in the front, slip 1 stitch, then knit 1, and then bring the yarn in the front and then slip the next stitch, and then we take this yarn to the back like this. Okay, so for the next round we are going to attach a new yarn or a different color yarn. Okay, so for this I will just tie this yarn here. Okay, this is a bit fiddly, so I'm trying to tie it here so that it will be easier to handle. Usually when I do it I don't tie it, but just so that it is comfortable. So we are taking this yarn at the back like this. Okay, after knitting this, and then the next yarn or the second yarn which we are adding, will bring it in the front like this. I'm using a 100 centimeter needle wire. That's why it's a bit more fiddly. Okay, so we have bring this second yarn in the front after tying like this, and then we are going to do the second round or the second circle. Okay, so with the yarn in the front, we are leaving the yarn as it is. Okay, we are leaving the yarn as it is in the front, then slip one stitch like this. Take this yarn and then do a yarn over like this, and we are going to do a brioche purl. So this is purling 2 stitches together. Okay, and then with the yarn in the front, we are going to slip the next stitch, and then we are going to do a yarn over. Okay, so we did a yarn over, and now we are going to knit this two or purl these 2 stitches together. So this is the brioche purl. Okay, like this, and then again with the yarn in the front, we are going to slip the next stitch as if to purl, do a yarn over, and then these 2 stitches here, we are going to purl these 2 stitches together. And then take this yarn at the back like this. Okay, and when we are going to now we are going to pick up the first yarn or the white yarn. Okay, so when we are taking this yarn at the back, when you pick up the first yarn, you have to pick up underneath. Okay, so there has to be crossing like this. Okay, so this is very important when you are doing brioche knit. Okay, so that's it, and then now I will show you how to increase. Okay, so in the first stitch we are going to increase 2 stitches. So brioche knit, knitting 2 stitches together, yarn over, and then a brioche knit. This is increasing 2 stitches, and then free the stitch. Bring the yarn in the front, slip the next stitch as if to purl. Okay, and then we are going to do a increase stitch here again. So a brioche stitch, knitting the stitches together, don't free the stitch, bring the yarn in the front to do a yarn over, and then brioche knit in the same stitch. Okay, so we have increased 2 stitches. Bring the yarn in the front, slip the stitch as if to purl. In the next one we are going to increase 2 stitches again. Knit 1, or say brioche knit, yarn over, and then brioche knit, and bring the yarn in the front and then slip the next stitch, and we will take this yarn at the back like this, and when you are picking up the next yarn, the orange yarn in my case, I will pick it up from underneath. Okay, so I will put it at the back like this, and this one I will pick it from the underneath of the yarn I was using. Okay, so it has to be like this, otherwise you will create a gap when you join the brioche knit patterns or brioche knitting patterns in the round. Okay, so I took this white yarn, this is my first yarn or the working yarn, and then put it on top of the second yarn or the yellow yarn, and then not a yellow, orange, sorry. Then I bring it in the front like this. Okay, so now we are going to do a brioche purl round. So in this brioche purl round, so here we have increased the stitch. So this is a simple purl stitch. Okay, the first stitch is a purl stitch, and then with the yarn in the front we are going to slip the next stitch, okay, and do a yarn over, and then purl the next stitch. Okay, the next one with the yarn in the front, sorry, this is not correct. Okay, so the first stitch we are going to slip the first stitch with the yarn in the front, okay, as if to purl, and then do a yarn over, purl the stitch, and then slip the next stitch with the yarn in the front, do a yarn over, and then do a brioche purl. Okay, so this is 2 stitches purling together, and then with the yarn in the front slip the next stitch as if to purl, do a yarn over, and then purl the next stitch. With the yarn in the front slip the next stitch, do a yarn over, and the next stitch we are going to purl the stitches together. With the yarn in the front we are going to slip the next stitch, do a yarn over, purl the next stitch. With the yarn in the front slip the next stitch, yarn over, and then brioche purl. Okay, take the yarn at the back, and the working yarn is now going to be the first one, so take it off, or say pull it out from underneath the one which we just kept. Okay, this is what we are going to continue, and you have to pull it a bit tight, not so tight, but to work on it you have to okay. So now we are going to do a brioche knit. Okay, knitting 2 stitches together, and then bring the yarn in the front, slip the stitch, and then knit the next stitch. Bring the yarn in the front, slip the next stitch, and then brioche knit. Bring the yarn in the front, slip the next stitch, and then brioche knit. Bring the yarn in the front, slip the stitch, then brioche knit. Bring the yarn in the front, slip the stitch, then brioche knit. Bring the yarn in the front, slip the stitch, take the yarn to the back like this, and then I'm going to pull out this orange yarn underneath like this. Okay, and then for the brioche purl I'll bring it in the front, but pull it a bit tight. Okay, and let's do a brioche purl round. with the yarn in the front, we are going to slip the first stitch. Okay, slip the first stitch, do a yarn over brioche pearl, with the yarn in the front, slip the first stitch, do a yarn over, and then brioche pearl, with the yarn in the front, slip the stitch, do a yarn over, and brioche pearl, with the stitch with the yarn in the front, slip the stitch, do a yarn over, and then we are going to do a brioche pearl. With the yarn in the front, slip the stitch, yarn over, then brioche pearl, slip the stitch with the yarn in the front, and then brioche pearl. Now take the yarn to the back, and then let's pick up the yarn again from underneath the orange yarn, the white yarn, and then we are going to start or continue knitting like this. Okay, and I will come back to show you a little bit of more progress. So right now I have something like this. Okay, and we are going to keep increasing, follow the pattern, and then we are going to make something like this. Okay, so enjoy your knitting.